So you may be asking, what is a design cycle and why do I need to know about it? A design cycle is a way of working through a problem that you need to find a solution for. You can think about it as an organized process or set of steps that you can follow. Design cycles are used in schools and colleges, and they are also used in the real world. There are different versions of the design cycle with different names for the steps and even different numbers of steps. This is the design cycle used by the International Baccalaureate Middle Years program. Now, there's a lot of information on this graphic. Since this is the first time you're using it, it might be easier to get rid of some of the details and just start with the main ideas. There are four main steps to the design cycle: inquiring and analyzing, developing ideas, creating the solution, and evaluating. Let's talk about each one separately, then we'll look at how they work together. In the inquiring and analyzing step, you identify a problem that needs to be solved and think about what you might need to know to solve the problem. Then you research in order to find the information that you need. Another word that you could use in place of inquiring and analyzing is investigate. In the developing ideas step, you create a plan to solve the problem. This should include detailed drawings, diagrams, and/or descriptions. It might also include a way to determine if the final solution is successful. Another word that you could use in place of developing ideas is plan. In the creating the solution step, you follow your plan to create a prototype or product. Another word that you could use in place of creating the solution is make. In the evaluating step, you might test your prototype or product. You would then consider how well you followed your plan, how successful your finished product or solution was, and how it could be improved. Another word that might be used in place of evaluating is reflect. Notice the arrows that seem to be going in all different directions. The outside arrows go around in a circle. This is the way that you would use the design cycle if everything were to go perfectly. First, you would inquire and analyze, or investigate. Next, you would develop ideas, or plan. Then you would create or make your solution. Finally, you would evaluate or reflect on your work. Now let's look at the arrows in the middle. What these tell us is that at any point, you can decide to go back to a previous step and rework your project. For example, when you are developing ideas, you may realize that you missed something during the inquiring and analyzing phase. Maybe you find that you need to do more research, and so you can go back and do that and then move forward again. Or perhaps when you are creating your solution, you find a flaw in your plan and you go back to the developing ideas step to fix it. Or maybe you find a bigger problem and decide that you need to go all the way back to inquiring and analyzing. When you get all the way to evaluating, as you reflect, you might think of a way that you could really improve your project, and you may decide to start the cycle all over again. That's okay. Think about the real world. Do you think that scientists and inventors and engineers always succeed the first time that they try something?